Hi, everybody. Mark Hanna with Wisdom Gaming here in the wee hours of January 13th. Yeah, it's about 2:30 in the morning. Put together a video here on the German attack in 1940 upon France. It's a detailed turn with a lot of new stuff coming into play with Schiffskrieg, sub raid, and the attack on the front line of France. So, without further ado, let's proceed to that. Again, Mark Hanna here, unscripted, unapologetic, uncensored, and psychologically immune to social media scoring. I'm Grecian Formula, Hothead Thundermouth, Carrot, or call me Mark. All right, let's proceed. Okay, hello everybody. This is going to be the start of the 1942 turn. Not 1942, 1940, May, June turn. I'll let you see that up here. Can you see that? No, you can't quite see that. So here we go. We've already got the stuff out of the delay box, and we're ready to go. So this will be the first time doing this series with a state of limited war, so we need to be careful on how we do this, following precisely the sequence of play. So starting out with the seasonal victory phase, we check the number of victory hexes that the Western Allies have versus the Germans. And the big one that they have is Metz. That gives them a score for that of, I guess, is that +1 or -1? So looking at this chart over here, if you can see that right here, Allied Crusade, when the score is 0 to -4. So they got a -1 for Metz down here in France. Okay, and I think that's it. The Germans don't have any others. That's the only one. Now, the main German goal for this summer campaign is to take Paris, take, of course, Brussels, and then they need one more to get this to a different score. And then get it down to 0. Only by getting +1 to +2. They need +3 to flip it over to a better modifier. And that's always the question, where's the third one going to come from? Well, there are two that come to mind. We are taking an approach that Sea Lion is the main focus. So we've got London here and Norway, Oslo here. So let's figure this out. So we've got to do the option card segment first. Right, we knew that we did an additional mobilization last time. That card is discarded. Let's put it over here for the moment. Flip over. Ta-da, case yellow. So, what do we have to do? Remove cards 22B, Operation Otto, and 27B, Oslin Accord. Those need to be removed because we're not going after Russia first. So there's 22B, Operation Otto, 27B, Oslin Accord are out. Goodbye. Okay, next. You may select one neutral minor country and apply a declaration of war. That's already going to be, as you see, Belgium, Holland. I've set up the units. I need to do a mobilization roll for that. Let's just go ahead and try to mobilize them.
How many steps can they mobilize? Well, we rolled a 4. It rolled out of the field. So they only have 2 to mobilize, so they just flip them both. And they are there and there. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, as you can see, Brussels has been left empty, and I'm deploying in this forward hex. The reason for this is to mitigate the effect of some things that can happen over here. Now, what I'm going to do is I think that what I've done here is over committed. I don't want this to look like a real French walkover here. There should be more on this front. What I'm going to do is put a step here, at least a step here, and I don't need that many steps here. So which is more important? Something like that is more realistic, okay? Because there's a lot of shifts here that they can hold them off. I've got 7 points there. I've got 4 points there, but it's in mountains. And there's also a river. And Metz has got its fortification. So I think that would be more realistic. The German attack, they want to come through with their armor to go 2, 3, 4. So they'll have to move an infantry unit in there first, then the armor unit can follow. But they won't be able to really get a big attack on these guys. Taking a look at the situation, they'll be able to get 8 factors, 10 factors in there versus 5. I'm trying to use these tweezers. I'm not really good with tweezers. I'm actually worse with them, I think. So they'll be able to get a 2-to-1 on them and then get some shifts. But remember, they're going to put the HQ at the most critical area, so that's 7. So they can only get 10-to-7, which is a 1-to-1. But they'll have some shifts. Okay, 10-to-7. Boy, yeah, that's really... See, this is a miscalculation, but you know, you never know what's going on. The important point is that the Germans take Brussels or Metz because they want to have an air base within 3 of Paris at the start of the next turn. The reason why is you really don't want the British to plop an air unit on Paris. Now, I don't think that they have one. They didn't get one in yet, so that's not an issue for that to happen. Interceptors cannot be deployed like that. But it's not so important that the British can't put one. It's that I can, because putting an air unit on Paris means it can't be reinforced. So it's problematic, though, whether that's going to be possible. So we're going to set this up on that basis. Okay, so in the force pool, I get these things. So I don't think I have to get them out. I think I already got those out. Did I get those out yet? Card number 22. No, I didn't get those out yet. Let me get those guys out, and we'll come back to this. Right, so we got out the case yellow goods. These are all put in the force pool. This actually gives, hard to believe, normally the Germans don't have so many air forces at the same time, but they've got a lot of them. So 4 air forces, that gives them quite a bit of flexibility. We need to put these air units in the right place. All right, so we got, well, the Messerschmitts there. Very nice. And there's already 2 there. Put 1 here. Okay. Well, well, well. All right. So that's in the force pool. Replacements 3 Panzers and 6 infantry steps. 3 Panzers and 6 infantry. And anything special? 6 Panzers. 3 Panzers and 6 infantry. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll get the mountain unit. And here we go. Right. Okay. So that's what we need to deploy someplace in a city. Put 2 of them there so I can build something. Put that there so it can go south. 3 of these here. I can put 2 on HQ and 1 in Berlin. Okay. And that's the replacement segment. So we're done with that. And we move on to naval construction segment and raids. Okay. So we don't have any raids. We're not going to do raids while the French are out there. So you can forget about that. So we need to pick the next card. Now, do we want to use this partisan card? I think we might want to use that later in an emergency. So what we can do, what's the plan for next time? Might be time to do the Norwegian operation. Let me think about this. Right, so we did do the Operation Westerbrunn, which we'll probably use to take out Norway if conditions are favorable. Use that as a backup plan. Right, so now it's political event segment. There are no political events, but we do want to remove these guarantee markers when we have war. We've declared war in another country, and that means Great Britain and France are also at war. And the phony war is over. Let's put those there. Discard those later. Okay, now it's the support segment. So I'll interject here that I already did a sub attack, and you'll see the results of that now. Okay, so in the support segment, we can put the U-29 in the North Atlantic, which can do a sub patrol anywhere here in the North Atlantic and on any ships that are at sea, in an adjacent box, or in port. So this could represent how the German subs went into Scapa Flow. I guess you can't quite see Scapa Flow. There it is up there. Okay. So, yeah, so it's going to do a sub patrol. So what you do is you select an X boat. There's a procedure here, it's very clear. Select an X boat from your force pool and place it on an on-station box. Okay. In a naval zone. Roll on the sub patrol table to see if an enemy ship is spotted in the naval zone. If no ship of a given type is spotted, then no attack is allowed. Okay, so let's take a look. If I roll a 1, it's Let's get the German U-boat to die out. This gray dye here will be the instrument of death. All right, we'll see. So I can spot carriers, big ships, or small ships. So anywhere in the naval zone, I just have to roll on this. Okay? So here's the roll on the sub patrol table. Oh, I rolled a 1. So I'm going to try to find a carrier. I can attack a carrier in the zone. Let's see. There's no carriers in here. Oh, there's the Ark Royal. Boy, that's a juicy target. I think we'll have to try for the Ark Royal. Okay. So the sub damage factor is at 2. Okay. So how do we do the combat resolution? So as you can see, I've set up the battle table here. The U-boat has 2 torpedo factors that it's going to shoot at the Ark Royal. That means 2 dice, and he's going to need a 5 or a 6 to do anything. A 5 will disable, and a 6 will damage. So here we go. Here's the roll. And there is a 6. Oh my goodness, a 6. So now we roll the damage that this causes. So here's the units now. This has been damaged. It's got a defense factor of 4 and a damage factor of 2. So if I roll a 1, nothing happens. If I roll a 2, okay, if that total is equal, so if I roll a 2 or 3, it will damage it, okay? If I roll a 4, 5, or 6, the Ark Royal is sunk. Here we go. It's a 4, so the Ark Royal goes down from the first U-boat attack. This goes in the naval warfare delay box. So that could be a long time before it comes back, or it could come back very quickly. Okay. Wow. That was harsh, losing the Ark Royal so soon. It did get lost to a submarine attack like that, but it was, I think, after the Battle of Norway or after the Bismarck was sunk. So that's a heavy blow to lose that. So click, click, and I'll put that in here. So what happened after that? Well, you saw the devastation. The Ark Royal, the special British fancy carrier, got sunk before it could be used. And in the naval delay box, we put the U-boat unit. Now, one mitigating factor about this is that we don't know, we need at least 1 U-boat to put the U-boat fleet out. And the German U-boats aren't coming in until September, October. They rolled poorly on their delay roll, which I forgot to do last time. There's a couple of other interceptors that came in. Some LBAs also came in. Those have been put on the board from a delay roll before. So one thing nice about videos is you can skip over mistakes if you want to. So those guys are ready to go. So now it's time to put down support. So return to base, not returning to base. Beachhead maintenance, no. Support unit convoy marker placement, yes. So let me decide where I'm putting the German Air Force, and we're going to be fighting it out with the French interceptors. So this process is relatively intuitive. You take the support unit that you're going to use, which is something I picked up here. Now I'm saying, okay, I'm going to use this and I'm going to put it here in Galmacell land. That's where I want it. That way I can attack here and here. So I compose it of some, I have to create the task force that mans it. So I'm going to take a really good fighter and let's see. Really want to make sure this makes it. So, yeah, I'll commit a 2-5, more defensive ME210s or something. Got a better defense and a better damage factor. They're going in. The French are sending in their interceptor, which is in the force pool. Here they come, flying away. And they must compose the task force. Well, all they have is these two, but that's pretty good. 2 decent fighter groups. So we're going to see what happens by conducting air and naval combat. So let's see how that works. Right, so we have a day action of necessity. So we resolve the attacks. I'm just going to do a straight up attack, 4 versus 3. They're going to shoot. I need 6s to hit. So here's the die roll thing. See if I can get everything in there. Yeah, that's pretty much got it. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So the German Messerschmitt group needs some 6s to hit. It got a hit. That's 1 hit on him. And do the damage in a minute. The other guy will do 2 shots at him. He got a hit also. Okay. Now we'll do the damage. Well, I don't know if we... What do we do? We completely resolve... Yeah, so we completely resolve them. So, hit on the first guy. He's got a damage factor of 2, defense of 4, 3. So he's damaged or reduced. Okay. And this guy. 3. So he's also reduced. Okay, now they each shoot 3 back at the Germans. 3 on the 444. Maybe they should do more on him, but we're just going to divide it up like this and see what happens. And there's a 6. So 1 hit on him. And another 3 at the other guy. And that's also a hit. Ho ho! Ho 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 ho! That's a very good result for the French. Okay, so the first guy, 4-4, takes 2 damage. He is flipped over. And the second guy, he takes, he's got a 3 base, a 4. Yep, he takes a hit. Wow, pretty bloody. All right, now everything, we do another round. And we are going to do another round. So here we got 2 on that guy and 1 on that guy. The black will be this one. Let's see if we get any 6s out of this. 2 6s. That's pretty good. Well, probably going to wipe them out. Let's see. Yellow, white. He survived. He's sunk. Okay. And they got 2. They'll do all 2 on this guy. Both of them. And they missed. Okay. So this guy has been, I guess, destroyed. These guys are reduced. And he is reduced. Okay, so the battle's over. These guys go to the line of battle box, damage side up. Okay, well that's over now. Okay, so proceed to step 6. So let's find out if it's either a stalemate, success, or a repulsion. Okay, so the procedure here is to put this guy who got destroyed in the delay box. These guys are placed in the used asset box, which is down here. And I might put the used asset, this is a dangerous place for me to put anything. So I'm going to have the used asset box over here. Might need to make a photocopy of that. Okay, because I can't have it down here. I'll knock those pieces all over. Kingdom Come. All right. Since the battle was inconclusive, both of these also go to the delay box. And so now the Germans need to constitute a new one. And they just do that by picking a new one and putting a fighter in it. I'll pick this 224, and it gets into there. And I think if it's uncontested, this goes to the used asset box. Let me check that. I'm going to put that blitz marker here. Organization step. Okay, so after reserve movement, reorganization, and things like that, this is where the Germans wound up. They've got 3 steps here that they're going to combine to an HQ. They got the armored. They can combine all of this into another big armored unit next turn. They're able to put an air unit on Paris next turn. And we don't know if they're going to get any units back. The units that are over there in the used asset box they'll be coming back in the reorganization phase at 7.2 at the end of everybody's turn. They come back onto the map. Okay, so that's the situation. Very interesting. What are the French going to do? Well, they're not going to be in a position to attack with the dial plan. They just don't have enough. Not with this HQ and all these air forces and stronger units. It's time to hedgehog around Paris, probably. I don't think the Paris fortress is coming in soon enough. Well, maybe they don't get the... Oh, wait. Yeah, those are all in the delay box now because Paris is threatened. British dependent, France. And then Paris was threatened if an Axis unit's in France. So yeah, they might get the defense unit. They're not in a position to use it where they need it, though, if it comes in. So yeah, wow. All of these things just came into the delay box right here. Okay. So there's still hope for France. The Germans did have to use up a lot of air to make this attack work. And now they're going to have to blast through to get next to Paris. They need to be able to at least attack it and try to start reducing it. Hopefully get another air unit back out. So we'll see what happens. We're going to put this thing back up now and see where we are for the Allies, just so we know. Their next card, as I mentioned, is the dial plan, where the British do get some stuff, but it's in the delay box. Okay, France only receives a small amount of steps. They do have a war economy, though, so they will be able to get 1 step there. We'll see what happens. Should be exciting. Okay, that's it. We'll put this video up.